Good evening, everyone. Today is the day. Start this off with Virgo. This is the second video of my series, Zodiac series. I started with Leo. Now is the month of Virgo, August 22nd to September 22nd. Just to note, as I said in the other video, I am a Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. It is the planet is Mercury. Personality of a Virgo is usually introverted. Some of the famous Virgos that are deceased are Michael Jackson, Eazy-E. I didn't even know Eazy was a Virgo until doing research on this. Eazy-E was Virgo. Kobe Bryant, Ray Charles, didn't know he was a Virgo as well. Fred Hampton of the one of the founding leaders of the Black Panther Party, he was also a Virgo. Jesse Owens, Jesse Owens. A lot of people probably don't know about Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens was one of the fastest track and field Olympians in Olympic track and field history. He literally, during the time that for World War II, when they had the Olympics in Germany, Adolf Hitler, he showed him up as far as he challenged his theory of Aryan supremacy by basically blowing everyone past the finish line and winning several gold medals that Olympic year. Charlie Parker was a Virgo as well, and also I didn't even know Jesse Owens was a Virgo. If I didn't mention that, didn't know Charlie Parker. If if you're young and you're not really musically influenced, you don't know who Charlie Parker is. Charlie Parker was one of the most notable jazz musicians of his time. Jazz is very important. If you have the hierarchy of music, jazz predates R&B, and then R&B goes into hip hop, rap music today. So jazz is one of those um, musical genre that it's just kind of like the father of music. Another deceased Virgo is Robin Williams. Robin Williams was a Virgo, very funny guy, very funny actor. Um, these all are deceased Virgos. One of the most popular Virgos of all time, I would have to say, is Michael Jackson. Um, Kobe Bryant as well. A lot of people don't know, that Kobe Bryant was a Virgo as well. One of the best basketball players, top five basketball players, definitely of all time. Very hard work ethic. Um, now, Virgos that you know of, as far as these people are still walks amongst us, are Beyonce. Beyonce is probably, I would say, alive, is probably one of the most famous Virgos. Jada Pinkett Smith is also a Virgo. She came into news about a month ago, and not gonna go into that. People know about all the entanglements, um, and I will talk about that because I know all about the entanglements. Being a Virgo, I will go into that later. Idris Elba, I did not know was a Virgo. Nas is one of my favorite music rappers. Probably top number one rappers is Nas. Some of the, you know what? I was looking at the list of Virgo rappers, and just about all of them. Wiz Khalifa, I didn't mention, is on this list. He's also a Virgo. Some of the best, all of the rappers that I looked up that was on the list of Virgos, they were very good rappers. Even the young people that I didn't even know that were Virgos, or that I never listened to. I just went, just glanced them on YouTube. I was like, yep, that I could listen to this guy. And I don't really even like a lot of rappers, but I was like, yep, this dude could flow. He's got it. It was just that commonality. Uh, you know, I resonate very well with Virgo men, so it just the commonality is it's like really a lot of times Virgos are very to not go to go a little bit further into it. Virgos are very objectified of themselves and also their audience. So they will feel very, very bad to put out garbage music or garbage content. They for them to do something, they have to know that they'll be exceptional at it, or they probably most likely won't do it. Almost uh, to the level of being a perfectionist. That's typical Virgo. And like I say, yeah, Nas, one of my favorite rappers. Sean Connery did not know he was a Virgo. A lot of you young whippersnappers probably don't know who Sean Connery is. Going back old, very very old. Sean Connery was one of the first James Bond figures. Going back to like I think the '60s. I want to say Sean Connery. He's been in a lot of notable movies. He is a Virgo. Did not know that. Jennifer Hudson from Chicago area. She's a little bit younger than I am, but I didn't know she was a Virgo as well. She is a Virgo. Keanu Reeves, I kind of probably, I think I saw him years ago on the list, but I forgot that he actually was a Virgo. And I know you know who that is. I mean, they're actually coming out with a Bill and Ted's Adventure about 20 years later, which is, he's probably most famous for recently John Wick, but um, he always he noted for the Matrix franchise um, as main character Neo. Tyler Perry is a Virgo. Did not know. Didn't know he was a Virgo. Taraji P. Henson, she's a Virgo. I knew she was a Virgo. She's actor. She got her fame and got her start in Baby Boy, but she didn't actually. She as to say in her words, she didn't even really start kind of needing bodyguards, or she didn't really get to the point where everybody knew her until she got on the series Empire. Um, that's when she just became a household name. But her biggest movie was Baby Boy, I would say. Um, but yeah, she's a Virgo. Lennox Lewis, one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of the UK. He is a Virgo. Very tough boxer. I mean, if you wanna study boxing, if you're a heavyweight and you wanna study how to fight, a couple people you want to study. You want to study Mike Tyson, and you definitely want to study Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was a very very skilled, tough fighter. Um, he knocked out some of the greatest boxers of all time. Adam Sandler didn't know he was a Virgo. Very funny guy. Watched his movies. Watched him when he was in when his days when he was at SNL. Very funny. One thing about Virgos, a lot of the people on this list are very very funny comedians. Okay. Adam Sandler, no exception. And also, I want to mention also one of the favorite, one of the just one of, I would say a lot of people don't know uh him, but as far as black comedians, a lot of people know who know a lot of the black, as far as the list of black comedians, and one of the funniest black comedians to come out of Chicago, and even want to say black comedians of all time, was Robin Harris. And Robin Harris, he was a Virgo. He was the father in um the house party movies. That was his claim to fame, but he was a Virgo, So he was more because the Bernie Mac, he was one of the funniest comedians, I would say. He's in like top five, top 10 comedians. Man, Robin Harris was more funnier than Bernie Mac, in my opinion. And they're both from Chicago. Um, and as far as comedians as well, in the same regard, Cat Williams is a Virgo. And just to pretty much going in the same along the same line, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle. I was surprised about that. I didn't know Dave Chappelle was a Virgo. Dave Chappelle is a Virgo. Man, I should try to do stand up comedy. I think I could move the crowd a little bit. Sanaa Lathan is her fine ass. She's a Virgo. Okay, now let's get to Virgo's traits, strengths, and weaknesses. Some of the strengths of a Virgo are skills, analytical skills, and intelligence, high intelligence. Very pragmatic. Pragmatic is just basically, you don't know what that means, basically being practical. Virgos typically are very practical. Good organizational skills. I mean, almost to the point sometimes that you know it could be downright OCD-ish, like moving stuff, like trying to put everything in proper alignment. Even sometimes I'm just like, I have to. If I see the box is crooked, I have to straighten it out. It's just crazy. But another thing that Virgos are good with personal finance, because just basically that skills of like looking at the breakdown of like different figures and doing research and uh you know just being analytical. Personal finance is really good with Virgos. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men walking this earth today, he's a Virgo. um and pretty much another thing that people don't know about Virgos are very good seducers. Very. This is like nobody, even astrologers. No, very few people talk about this. But like I said, I'm giving up the little secrets. A lot of the Virgos ain't gonna like me after this. They're very good seducers. Intelligent sapiosexuals. That's us. Uh, seducers. That's us, man. We can figure out what you like, and then what cologne, what kind of restaurant you like, whatever. If like I know for myself, if I lock on something and I feel like I want to get it, I'll work on someone for a year or two, and then I'll just keep trying to just chop at it, and then next thing you know, we in between the covers, cause That's how it goes sometimes. We are very, very good seducers. Nobody ever, ever, my broke ass, you would never hear anybody talk about this. It's like almost like a secret, but I mean, yeah, we're very good seducers. Weaknesses, overthinking. I mean, just having an analytical mind, always researching, always trying to find what if. Like, I mean, a typical Virgo would be up just thinking about shit that people be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? What is the sound? What's the sounds of space? What?" I mean, like Virgos would be up just thinking about just crazy shit people wouldn't even be thinking about. Like, damn. I mean, you know, uh, just really silly shit. Like, typically a Virgo just be laying in the bed and then a thought comes to mind and then they gotta Google it. Like, it don't even matter what time it is. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the morning. Uh, even I would even wake up out of a deep sleep to just look something up. Because it just can be just like overthinkers, almost even to the point where just make a bad decision because you just overthink it. Extreme criticism. That is one of the biggest weaknesses. And it also is kind of like also it's a gift and a curse. Okay. So one thing about Virgos, if you don't want to ask us something, because we gonna give you, not only will we give you the honest opinion, but it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be like it'll be unbiased, and it'll be so much truth involved into it because we're gonna break down why we think so and why we get to this point of what we explain um our opinion or our analysis of what you ask us. You're not probably even gonna want to ask us because it's like, for example, like you ask someone about, should I be with this guy or should I be with this girl or whatever. We gonna tell you to the point where if you don't follow the advice, 9 times out of 10, Virgo tell you something is truth, unbiased truth, full factual analysis. We gonna just give you the nitty gritty, and then 2 3 years later, I'm gonna be like, remember that time we was talking and I told you, basically I told you so. That's typically how that goes with a Virgo, and then it gets even more darker because Virgos, because of that, just deep dark. We can get kind of dark with the criticism. We can literally pick your weaknesses apart and spit it out at you. I will go into the careers because, like, just to give a little hint, some of the I think some of the best lawyers, a Virgo could be a very good lawyer. Cross examining a witness, that literally is what we're good at. Like, we could just break down a lot of what your weaknesses is. Like, if you CAD with a Virgo or run the dozens with a Virgo, like when I was younger, I had to learn to basically not even to say anything, just be quiet. Because if I got in situations where if I got to like talking about somebody and like we doing the dozens or going back and forth, it'll usually go into a fish fight because I would just be like, well, your mama on food stamps. And I would have to, basically get either in a physical altercation or basically just run because I'm gonna light you up. I'm gonna expose something that you probably didn't even think I know, or something that, like, is really, really bad, that I know, because another thing, like, Virgos keep very good record and have a very good memory of things, so that extreme criticism, you get Virgos into a lot of fights, a lot of altercations, and even worse. But I'll get to that. Another thing is about weaknesses is shyness. Very shy. Like, one of my favorite uh authors, or well, not so much favorite, I would say, not my favorite author, but one of my favorite YouTubers is author Alan Roger Curry, and he primarily promotes his book Mode One. And one thing about that one, I love to listen to the commentary and talk about it and everything like that. And it's like, basically, it comes to the situation where, if you don't really know what Mode One is, it's basically an approach where you just go directly to a woman, and basically first interactions, first, like, conversations, is basically, I just want to bend you over the couch. I just want to put my dick in your mouth and just let you taste it. I mean, like, I ain't got the balls. I mean, it's even worse than that. Um, I really don't. I rarely approach women on the streets. Like, I do, but I'm so shy that, and I know I'm not the only one, but it's a shyness that, to a level where, if I don't know someone, I don't even talk to them, men or women. Even women, I would want to, but sometimes a woman look so gorgeous, it'd be like, I just have to say something. I have to get out myself. But I mean, it'd be difficult, because it's like, one thing about Virgos is, if we don't know you, we not we're very apprehensive, and that's not good in other aspects, such as, like, business and work environment, stuff like that. But yeah, it's a very big thing. Shyness. I mean, I've passed up probably some of the finest women on God's green earth, just because I just didn't say nothing. And that goes to another weakness, is timidness. Just being timid, like strangers, people that you don't know, just um also, like, not wanting to ask people questions. Like, you'll have, man, shoot, a lot of times a Virgo will just be in a situation. I think the only person that's worse is probably a Capricorn. If like, not asking for help is like, I mean, we'd have to be just really just be like, what, forget it, and just say something, because we just be so shy, so timid to actually ask for help. It is definitely a weakness. Um, and I'll say some of the common problems of Virgo would be just being in self isolation. A lot of Virgos, because we're very loners, very introverted, could be very isolated. Um, Another thing is, because of the overthinking, and just, like, thinking all the time, just constantly just thinking, just like, just having this big old computer, just constantly trying to figure out things, and you know it leads to insomnia, not being able to sleep, and then being up, and then just doing research, just having a blast at 2 o'clock in the morning, when you got to be at work. at 8 o'clock in the morning. It is, a lot of times, a lot of Virgos are insomniacs, and it goes back to Mercury. Mercury, two signs of Mercury is Gemini and Virgo, and basically, Mercury can basically lead to the actual mineral mercury can mess up your brain functions, and mercury poisoning is something real. You can look that up. But it also leads to mental illness. Is a common problem with Virgos because just being self-isolated, just being, it leads into depression, then insomnia leads into all kind of different things, psychosis, you know, um, schizophrenia, um, bipolar type stuff, and it's just something that typically is a common problem with Virgos. Now, Virgo compatibilities are uh, overall Taurus. Taurus is an Earth sign. Capricorn and Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Pretty much mud. If you a Virgo, even if you're an Earth sign, if you want to find out, I do like the European zodiacs. It is very simplified, but pretty much when you want to figure out like what you compatible with, like if you water, just think of mud. Just think of a swamp, like water and mud, and it's like pretty much that's typically what this is, like Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces. But that from my experience, probably I would say Scorpios I've had better experiences with. Really cool with Taurus women. Pisces, they say Pisces is the best compatibility, but I don't know. I, man, Pisces just be all over the place. Like I don't know, man. I mean, I haven't experienced it, but okay, I'll take their word for it. I'll more or less say like Cancer, Scorpio, and Taurus, but yeah, Pisces, yeah, I guess. Um, but yeah, recommended careers that I recommend for Virgos is detective. Being a detective because basically being able to solve crimes, even cold case files, putting together evidence, doing the analysis, the motives for crimes, man, that's just an average day for a Virgo. The scientists, high intelligent analysts of different microbials and supplements and all kind of like chemistry and stuff like that. Um, yeah, that's right up a Virgo alley as well. Um, being I also have on the list a historian, someone that just basically studies history. So yeah, you know, that's right up my teeth. Like I love history. I study a lot of history, but yeah, actual historian. I don't really know. I guess you would you would be on the History Channel or the Discovery Channel. I mean, I don't know where one would actually make that a career path, but sure you can figure that out. But another profession I have on here is lawyer. I think Virgos make very good lawyers. Um, if you can get over the whole waking up early in the morning to go to court thing. But yeah, putting together a case, fighting a case, arguing the case, very, very good fit, I believe. Being a teacher, um, that's a good profession, as Virgos are very good teachers. I actually was a computer teacher for a quick hot minute, probably less than a year. Uh, it was very challenging. It was because it was like kids, and it was like a very the school was not very well organized because you have to have the students in check. You have to have some type of disciplinary system where students are gonna behave, because if it's not they're not behaving, it's consequences. The principals and stuff like that, they didn't grasp it at the time. That school that I worked at Delano Elementary, with my mother. That school is no longer in existence. It's a charter school, or yeah, some type of like private school or something. But coach, uh, Virgos are very good coaches. Probably about 10 years ago, I helped a friend of mine. He had a little basketball camp. I helped him out, and you know, yeah, I pretty much already know. Yeah, Virgos, they could be very good coaches. Um, that just goes without saying. Technology, you know, that's why I that's what I've been in about probably the last 14 years. Just basically anything from like editing code, running scripts, working on networks, tech support, hardware repair. That is my specialty. Another career profession is financial analyst. Actually, like financial analyst is someone that would basically analyze the markets, analyze financial portfolios, analyze companies' risks and profit ratios, stuff like that. That is right up Virgo's alley, in my opinion. And as far as just like I did on the last video, Leo, Leo was number two on the list of serial killers. Virgo is number six with 39 killers that were Virgos. So, yep, we will kill you. So yeah, that is Virgo. Um, let's see how long this puppy is. It's not too long. I hope I did more. I wanted to play music, but YouTube is so copyright, sensitive. I wanted to lead it off with some Michael Jackson, but uh, for the sake of copyrights and all of this other stuff, I left that out. But yeah, this is uh Virgo season, and this is the series, Zodiac series. This is the Broke Genius. See you on the next one.